how to deal with anger and insecurities with a guy when they do come back. Let's say there has been some space, they implement tools, the guy does come back, and now they're feeling angry or insecure because maybe it took him a long time. He took more space than the woman wanted. I hear about this all the time. Anything you want to say on that, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things that you can talk about in regards to that. You know, one of the things that you want to do is, so what we were talking about earlier with your focus, right? Whatever you focus on is what grows for you. So if you're sitting there focusing on everything that's wrong with what happened in your situation, you're just going to get angry and you're going to get fearful and you're going to start feeling like you're not enough and all those kinds of things. Whereas if you're focusing on what you want and who you are and being the amazing, beautiful woman, you know, high value woman that you want to come across as, and you want him to start pursuing you and looking at you as the woman that he wants in his life. And you guys, what first thing you need to do is shift your focus, right? And start focusing on the things that you want and start figuring out, shifting your idea from, you know, one of the things I talk about in the Forever Woman is shifting it from, you know, this guy to this relationship. Because when your mindset is stuck on, I need this guy and I got to make things work with this guy, you're actually far less likely to get the guy that you want. And if you think in your mind, this is the relationship that I want to have, and I'm going to spend my time thinking about this relationship and connecting to this relationship and feeling what this relationship would be like, you're far more likely to get what you want. You're far more likely to set and stick with personal boundaries. You're far more likely to ask for the things that you want because you're less worried about freaking out a guy and you're more concerned about making sure that you're in the best possible situation you can be in. And so my suggestion is that you shift what you're thinking about and stop thinking about what's wrong and start thinking about what's right. Right? He comes back, and what most women that I talk to do is they immediately start shaming him and attacking him, and, you know, why did you leave? And you don't love me and you don't care about me, right? And this makes the guy go, oh my God, you know, and what he starts doing is he starts associating coming back to you as this negative, painful experience. And so when he does pull away, he starts going, oh, do I want to go back? I know what she's going to do. She's just going to freak out and start yelling and screaming and doing all these things, right? And at the same time, you don't want to, like, you know, pretend like nothing happened. But when he does come back, you want him to feel like you're grateful that he came back. And that you're grateful that he's there, because then he starts associating good feelings to you being there. And then after a little bit of time, then you can start having conversations about these different things if you want to, and, you know, find out what's actually going on and, you know, communicate what's going on with you and what you want to experience. And, you know, if it's something that he can get on board with or not. And so what you want to do initially is connect with him in a positive way when he comes back, so that he doesn't end up deciding that he needs more space. And instead you connect with him and then later on you can do other things, right? Like you can set frames. I'm a huge fan of frames. Like if you want somebody to do something a certain way, all you have to do is create an association to it, right? Like what we talked about before with the anchoring. You set a frame that says that when he does certain behaviors, it's attractive or it's unattractive. And so if you want him to start pursuing you more, you want him to start calling you more, you want him to start doing things more, all you have to do is create those associations. You can talk about, like, so there's this thing out there that's the 5 love languages, right? Like I think most people have heard about it at this point. If you haven't, you should go check it out. It's a great book. Anyway, in the book, they talk about like what somebody, what it takes for somebody to experience love. And so there's a deeper level to that, though, because if you talk to somebody and you find out their love language, you just know these categories, which can be useful. But what you really want to find out is what makes them feel love, what makes them feel loved. Because then when you when you pull that out of them and you ask them questions about that and they tell you what actually makes them feel loved, then you can actually connect with them in that specific way instead of trying to guess and trying to figure out what it is and all that kind of stuff. And where were we going with this, Helena? I feel like I ran off on a tangent here.
You always ask me that. Like, no, I think everything you said was great. What I was going to add is, it also depends on what you're doing when he is not there, right? It's if you're staring at your phone, 24/7 because you're so focused on the fact that it's been a few days since you've heard from him. When he calls you up and you answer, he can feel that. He can feel that in the tone of your voice and in your energy, right? Versus if you're just like, he's not in front of me right now, so I'm going to just forget about him for now and go live my life and have fun and go out with my friends, go on other dates. If you're single, right? Mm-hmm. Go, get a massage, go work out, go do something, right? Yep. Take your focus off of him. When he shows back up, it's kind of like a nice surprise. It's like, oh, hey, how have you been? Right? Mm-hmm. A man can feel the difference in your energy. So, it's all about what you do when he's not there. And then when he comes back, you're not so focused on like, where were you? What took you so long? Hopefully maybe that just gives you some practical things you can do too.